Vegas is all right, Doc. What we got on the house call?
Let's start with Jimmy G. So he sustained a left foot fracture in December, but good news for him, he just passed his physical a couple days ago, and he's expected to begin training camp. But if we look at the data on Garoppolo, he averages just 8 games a season, and his median number of games is only six games per season. So my question for the commissioner is he really fantasy relevant? Maybe a late season waiver wire. But I don't see him playing every game of the season. We're going to go 75% of the bench for Jimmy Garoppolo. Moving to Josh Jacobs. He played in every single regular season game last season for the first time in his 4 years. And objectively, he had a great season. So we're going to give him a 20% of the bench, which is well under the running back average. But I'm very much looking forward to hearing our guest's perspective on him not reporting to camp. I think there's a lot to talk about there a little later in the show. And then lastly, DeVonta Adams. So only twice in his 9 seasons has he played in fewer than 14 games. Last year, he played in all 17 regular season games. In the last 3 years, and 4 out of the last 5, he's been a top 3 PPR performer. Big things coming for him, 10% to the bench.
Well, if this team can stay relatively healthy, a lot to be excited about, especially in the skill position department. Scott. Doctor, we'll see you tomorrow as we finish up our summer tour with the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we got a packed house tonight. It's going to really test my finger quickness skills. I only got 11 seconds during this promo. Here we go. Let's bring in our Raiders guests.
Our next stop on our summer tour, we get ready to Viva Las Vegas. Step right up and place your bets on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ain't no party like an Oaktown party, because an Oaktown party don't stop. Raiders!
Let's go.
Okay. That's
The
how we
black
start
hole is in the
things off.
building. Let's go.
Let's go. I like, let's bring that noise. Keep that energy. Let's go. Kenny King, we'll start with you. Welcome into the studio, sir.
What it do, baby?
Appreciate you being in. Ryan Holmes, like to welcome you into our studio, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
We appreciate you. Not just the moon, she is the mother moon. Welcome into the studio.
Hey, what's up, all?
Appreciate you being in. Spicy Raider girl. She's a friend to the show. What's up? Welcome in.
Thank you.
Appreciate you bringing the energy when you come in the building. Love that. JP the Ticket playing a little John Cena. You can't see me. Welcome into the
You already
studio.
know what time it is. It's 175 degrees in Vegas. I ain't got no shirt on, and I'm unexercised. It's going to be all right.
Oh, God.
Hey, that's all right. We can keep that visual to ourselves. Thank you
That's
so
right.
much. Chris, welcome into the studio from Protect the Shield. Appreciate you, my friend.
Hey, glad to be here, man.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys being in. Well, let's get it started. I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off real quick so we can move forward. Let's talk about last year. Finished 6-11, third in the AFC West. Offensively, though, not too shabby. 13th in points per game. That was 23.2 yards per game, 357.1. That puts you 12th. Passing yards per game, 231.4. That's 11th overall. Rush yards per game, 121.1. That puts you 17th. The bugaboo came here defensively. Points per game, 24.6. That put you 26th in the league. Yards per game, 365, like all year long. 200, that made you, 27th in the league. Passing yards per game, 242.9. That made you 29th. And rush yards per game, 122.8. That puts you at 19th overall. Let's kick it around the room. Kenny, I'm going to start with you. Give me last season in 3 words or less, and then expand on it for me.
Second half problems. And really it comes down to, the Raiders just couldn't put it together in the second half. They started hot. They had, I believe it was 5 games where they blew it in the second half. You start hot, you can't move the ball downfield in the second half, and they just couldn't do anything. Defensively, they couldn't stop, and offensively, they couldn't move. And so when you can't score and other teams score, you have a shit show.
Wow, ironic. We are
said,
TSS. That stands for the shit show, ironically enough. Ryan Holmes, what say you? Give me your 3 words or less.
This is easy for me. Red zone struggles. Offensively, They kicked field goals. They didn't score touchdowns, and defensively, they didn't stop anybody. So when you're giving up 7 and you're scoring 3, it doesn't work out after 4 quarters.
Absolutely, 100%. Mother Moon, what's your 3 words or less, and expand on it for me?
I was expecting it. I was hopeful beginning of the season, thinking we're going to do so well, but just like, as we come to love the Raiders, up they go and then right back down. So I expected it.
All right, I like it. I like it. Spicy Raider girl, what's your 3 words or less? And then give me some expansion on it.
Same old-ish. Another year, another disappointment. It starts from the top. You got to have good leadership at the top, which I don't think that the Raiders do or have. There's too many coaches changing. There's too many GMs changing. There's too much inconsistency. So we need to do better.
Love that. Absolutely. Got to keep things consistent, or where do you expect your ball club to be at? That's great. JB, the ticket. Give me your 3 words or less. Expand on it for me.
Loss. More loss. Look, these guys were losing games. These guys were losing games by a touchdown, sometimes, God forbid, by a point or less. Let's take a look at that offer that they put up on October the 30th back in week 8. Lost to the New Orleans Saints. You can't believe this. 24-0. And I said to myself, you know what? If this is one of those things where I'm going to be making bets, and if I think that I want to make money, I do the betting show and I cover all the sports betting lines, I've got to be on the Raiders. I've got to be able to count on the Raiders to at least cover their spread. So last year they lost to a lot of teams they weren't supposed to lose to. If you take a look at their record in 2021 with the split coaching of John Gruden and Rich Bisaccia, 2 coaches that they sent on their way, and then they picked up Josh McDaniels trying to bring that Patriot way here. Look, it has nothing to do with the Patriot way. I need Josh McDaniels to lock into just win, baby, okay? You got the spirit flame of Al Davis in the stadium. Allegiant Stadium needs to have a win. Most importantly, these guys have to get at minimum to the AFC Championship game. I'm going to bang that drum all season long.
Not happening.
And they got to win the Super Bowl. They're here in Las Vegas. This is a championship town. They will be pariahs and will be back on the bus to Oakland to help you guys get rid of all those crazy creeps out there. Because I'm telling you right now, Vegas has got 2 championship teams. They have got the Las Vegas Aces and now the Vegas Golden Knights, which is the major hockey championship. They've got to make a showing this year. The issue that they had last year was simply they did not mesh. They did not gel. This year, it's a good thing. I'm here in town. They're not talking to the media. They are not talking to individual people. They're trying to keep everything low key. They had a great draft class, defensive and offensively, but last year it was just loss and more loss. They've got to stop doing that. Go ahead.
Indeed, I like it. But listen, one thing I got to say, I know you can't see it, unfortunately, but you might get the theme as the music plays. We got one thing to say when people bring big takes that are kind of outlandish. The Raiders and the AFC Championship, we got a question.
They got to do it.
Are you high?
Must
be completely legal.
We'll take that bet.
That's why he covered it up, because he's back there chiefing on something. Chris, give me 3 words. Give me 3 words or less on last year for me, if you don't mind. Expand on it.
So I'm gonna go with trust the process. My angle's a little bit different than a lot of other people's. I wasn't so high on that 2021 team, the playoff team, because a lot of people talk about Josh McDaniels, about how he ruined the playoff team. I don't think that team was that good. We just had the ball bounce the right way quite a few times, where last year just didn't. But I think long term it's going to make sense. The Raider way hasn't really worked for a long time, so we're trying something a little bit different. It's uncomfortable, and a lot of us don't like it, but I'm trying to trust the process. If it doesn't work, I'll be the first one driving the bus over Josh McDaniels. But as of right now, I'm trusting the process.
Trust in the process.
I'm one of the only ones, man. I'm by myself on this.
Yeah.
Little take off the 76ers. You gotta love that. All right. Well, we spent a minute talking about what was. Let's talk about what is, right? So marquee additions to this team. Jimmy G, we heard the doc talking about him earlier. Marcus Peters, cornerback. Jacoby Myers, a little underrated receiver, coming over from the Patriots. Maybe he can get in the end zone over here in Las Vegas. Now, we did lose some things with Derek Carr, obviously gone. Darren Waller gone. I mean, I put, just because we're at a fantasy show, I brought up Matt Collins and Foster Moreau, which a great story he is, nonetheless. But those were some of the losses you guys took. In the draft, here we go with edge rusher Tyree Wilson off the first rip. That's from Texas Tech. Tight end Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. You got Byron Young from Alabama. Receiver Trey Tucker from Cincinnati. Cornerback Jacorian Bennett from Maryland. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. Then safety Christopher Smith from Georgia. Linebacker Amari Burney from Florida, and then Nesta Jade Silvera from Arizona State. All right, so now let's go back around the room. We'll go opposite end this time. Chris, let's start with you first. Give me a prediction on this Raider team going into this season.
So honestly, it's hard to really give a prediction without knowing what's going to happen to JJ, our star running back. So I think if we can get him back and him being happy, I still have high hopes because I think Jimmy G is going to do well, at least better than a lot of people think. He might not light up the scoreboard as far as yards, but I think he'll be efficient. He'll score points in the end zone. He's not going to turn the ball over. So if we have a happy JJ, I'm thinking we're getting 9 wins.
Well, I've got some bad news for you. JJ ain't happy.
I know.
They're looking to ship him out. I'm telling you right now. This guy's not in camp. He has no intention of coming to camp. He's been posting horrible things about playing for the team all season. I've been around this game 25 years. I've seen it. This guy's worth 2-3 good wide receivers, maybe another sure-footed linebacker. I've just was taking a look. We were talking about the running back situations. The position is down. The running back is the center of the NBA, and their position, the running back, is the same way in the NFL. It has changed. It's less valuable, and the players have to do more. So the traditional load that players such as Josh Jacobs have to carry don't carry as much weight in the boardroom. He led the league in rushing, led the team in rushing, and had the top amount of touchdowns from receptions for tailbacks and running backs in the league last year. Unfortunately, that's not worth a long-term contract now. So I would hope that the Raiders would think about possibly moving him before the trade deadline and just seeing it, because we need this team on all cylinders this year. We're hosting the big game. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
You're good, JB, but let me just throw this at you. If you trade in Josh Jacobs, you definitely ain't gonna hit that AFC Championship. But anyway, well, let's get later that.
You can do it, man. I'm telling you, he's valuable.
Hey, well, since we're on it, let's go to you. Give me a prediction for this year for this Raiders team.
This Raiders team, my prediction is just win, baby. I don't care if you win by 1. As long as you win by 1 and lose by none, you got to get the money this year. They probably won't cover any spreads. They probably won't get you any totals. But God forbid, those dog money lines, they got to take it. They're plus 1,200 to plus 1,500. I've seen it across the board at different books. Dead last to win the division. You've brought in Jimmy Garoppolo. You give him a lot of money. You still have DeVonta Adams. I'm hoping some chemistry can be made there. I'm hoping Michael Myers can step in day one. He was an excellent tight end, 6'4", 250 pounds, out of Notre Dame, well coached, established himself as a red zone threat. You got a 6'5" tight end. Hopefully they can make some moves to do things that they do, like with Travis Kelce in the red zone in Kansas City. I really need to see the Raiders take a step forward this year. The Golden Knights did it, okay? The Golden Knights, we changed coaches on our hockey team 2.5 times. And in 6 seasons, we got that championship. The Raiders, we got the big globe out here. You don't want to have a big L next to the Raiders logo. You got to make sure that if any player doesn't want to be here and their contract can be unloaded, do it. This is the time to do it. And my prediction is if they win 11 games and they scrape out 11 games and get in the wild card, scratch what happened in the regular season and push forward to that AFC championship game. That is their only goal, and that is what I'm pushing for them, because otherwise it's going to be difficult for them to walk around the city. I'm just telling you.
King Kong ain't got nothing on JB. All right, let's go to
that
Spicy Raider Girl.
Wow.
What say you? Give me a prediction for this year.
Can I just start by saying I do not think correct me if I'm wrong. I do not think JB the Ticket's a Raiders fan. He's clearly a fan of the city of Las Vegas. He has no
I'm a fan
idea
of
what
the
he's
money,
talking
baby.
about.
I
All
agree.
money,
He has
I
no
second
idea
that.
No bull.
the history of
I
the
second
Raiders.
that.
He does. He's over there thinking that he's gonna like go to the casino and since the Vegas Knights won and the Aces won, he's gonna like draw a 4-car stud or whatever because I don't gamble, and then the Raiders are gonna pull a hat trick and win the freaking AFC West championship. Who is this guy? That's why he's not even
Spicy,
showing his
talk.
face. That's why he's not even showing his face.
Get him,
Like,
Spicy.
dude, it's great.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right.
All right. So
Go
what do
ahead.
you
Go
think?
ahead.
What do we think about the Raiders this year? Let's go there.
Okay, here's real
There
talk.
we go.
The Raiders are not going to finish better than third in the AFC West.
Yeah, I'm
And I
right here.
hope I'm-
I got
and
my
I
face. I
hope
said it.
I'm
I'm live
wrong.
on the radio every week. I got no reason to hide from you. AFC Championship, Super Bowl, or bust. They
Let's
will
bet.
be pariahs
Let's
if they
bet.
don't.
See all that money
win the
flying back
championship.
there? All that
They
money
gotta do
flying
it.
back there? Put that on the table and I will bet you all that fake money flying back there. That shit is not happening. You are hiking back up. Hey, you know what they say? You don't have to get high if you stay high.
You got on a
This
Raiders
fool is
jersey.
high.
You got to be representing for the team. You can't come on and give no solutions. Sound like a sports
He
bettor
asked
that's
for a
losing out here.
prediction. We
You
want a
go ahead.
prediction.
There's 4
Your
ways to win a
prediction
bet.
is
I'm telling
crazy.
you, I'm being positive. There's no reason to be negative on these guys.
Nobody
If
said,
you go out and
hey,
spend
no,
top
I'm
dollar
sorry.
on
Did
these
he
type of
ask
players,
to be
and
positive
you
or
go from
negative, or
11
did he
and
ask for a
6 and
prediction?
then 6 and 10. But you just said I wasn't going to show my face, so I was like, okay, we can do different things. I got technology over here. We can operate. Let's go.
I
Let's
got
go.
$10 on it.
Let's go.
Get him, Spicy. Get him,
Got a lot of
Spicy.
money. Shout out to my
JB
man,
said, I can
All
change.
that fake money
He said,
down.
I
I'll
can
take
change
all
my
your money.
background.
I will
Great
take
Greece.
all your
I'm
NFC
going
shit.
hard.
Freaking
I'm going
shit.
hard. You out here wilding,
All right.
not giving this
All
team
right.
no credit. Come on, this is
All right,
Vegas.
let's bring it back in. Spicy.
Raider fan for you, baby.
Give me a prediction for this year,
This
Spicy.
guy
Give me
became a fan in like 2020. I'm not even sure he's a fan, honestly.
All right,
I'm
let's
from New
get
York. I'm a fan of the New York Jets, but I'm also happy.
There it is.
Why is he
there
even
it
on this
is.
show?
Pictures in
Oh,
the
I'm
black
done.
hole.
He
Pictures
likes
in
the
black
colors.
hole. Go ahead, get off the camera. I'm going to be on the air live this weekend.
You should have had this fool on the
Thank
New
you
York
so much,
Giants
Abby.
show. Why is he even here?
Because we're
Wow.
covering the whole league, baby.
Hey, did you just get that t-shirt today?
107.1.
Did you just buy-
KSAP
Hey, did you just buy that
107.1.
t-shirt
Oh,
today?
man.
Come on.
It was a Raiders
Got
fan.
it. Lunar.
Let's get it back in. Let's get it back in. All right, JB, we got you. All right, Spicy. Give me a prediction for this year, and don't include JB in it.
All right, I won't. Yeah, but on the real, listen. The Raiders have to focus on how to be the best team in football, and we all know who that is right now, and it's just a fact because they won the Super Bowl, right? And that's a division rival. I won't even say who it is because I can't allow myself to, but we all know who we're talking about, okay? And if you can't beat that team, there's no way you're going to be a Super Bowl contender. And listen, the Chargers are getting stronger. Even the Broncos are getting stronger. The Raiders are going to be lucky if they finish third best in the AFC West. And it's unfortunate that the AFC West is as good as they are. I mean, Derek Carr should be thanking the Raiders for trading him to the NFC. He'll probably make the playoffs now because that division is terrible. In fact, instead of trading Derek Carr to the NFC, I wish the Raiders would have traded themselves to the NFC. Then we can start talking about a potential championship. That's it.
All right. Well, Mother Moon, let's keep it spicy, right? What do you say about this year?
So I'm gonna give it a 9. We'll win 9. I'm gonna go there. Not quite sure why. I just want to be a little bit positive. But if we don't get JJ in practice, if we don't get him going, hopefully he'll show up the last practice. That's my hope because I'll be there. That's hilarious. I'll be there. So I'm just hoping he's holding out a little bit. But as far as our quarterback, I don't think he's going to be healthy the full year. I think maybe he'll do his 1 or 2 games and something might come up. But I mean, like I said, giving it 9 is a high for me, but we just need to be stronger. And again, it starts from the top. As far as the meshing out there, I don't know. Everybody talks big at the press conference, but we really don't know what's going on the field. But I don't think the Raiders are at the other professional leagues that have won the championships there in Vegas at this time. They may get there, but not this year.
No.
All right, Ryan,
Denver
you got
Nuggets
the
won the NBA championship.
Anyway,
right.
Ryan, what you got?
Here we go. Ryan, we have commenters saying you've been talking too much. I don't know if I should go to you yet, but yes, please fill us in on this season. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's an 8 and 9 team. I just think there's too much uncertainty, especially at the defensive tackle position. The linebacking core is pretty weak. They're going to score points on offense. Jimmy G, I don't know if he's playing 17 games. So if you just go on average, he's probably going to play 10 to 12 games. So you're going to have 5 games you're playing with Byron Hoyer or a rookie. That's probably not going to lead to a lot of things, especially with the defense where they're at. They just didn't add enough veterans and firepower on that defense to make a real jump. I'm hoping somewhere in the 15 to 20 range as far as points allowed this year, which with their offense, they should have a top 10 offense as long as Jimmy G's healthy. I just think there's too many shootouts and too much uncertainty. And then we haven't even talked about the penalty issue they've had for years that still isn't cleaned up. So I want to say 9, but I'm going to go 8. It's a pretty hard schedule. There's not a lot of layups on the schedule this year.
Indeed. Hopefully, as we mentioned earlier, if Josh Jacobs does get back into camp, though, I think someone had mentioned Jimmy G doing what he does, and yeah, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So you could definitely, it's not going to win you big playoff games, but certainly going to make you a competitive football team. Kenny, finish us up with the predictions. What do you say about this year?
Look, this team, we don't know. You got a new quarterback. You have a new system. You've got a lot of pieces there that we need to see. I think Josh will be there week 1. I don't think Josh is going to show up to camp. And quite frankly, I don't care if Josh shows up to camp. Really what it comes down to, as long as he's there week 1, that's what matters. I also look at this. You've got DeVonta Adams. You have the best receiver in football. You have Michael Mayer, who's probably the best tight end in that draft, who's going to be able to come in, ball out. You look at what you lost. You lost Darren Waller. Darren Waller didn't do anything last year. He was hurt. He was always injured. He wasn't bought in to the system anyways. This team, I think the defense is going to get better. I think that you look at this defense, and I know that people have a lot of question marks around it. You look at the defensive tackle position. I think Byron Young's going to come in and make an impact. You bring in, you bring in Tyree Wilson. You have Chandler Jones, who's coming off a better end of the season than he did in the beginning of the season. He's in better shape than he was last season. You bring in Marcus Peters. You have Ja'Cory Bennett. You have Nate Hobbs, who's looking to have a redemption. I think that this team actually could sneak their way in, split with the Chiefs, beat the Chargers, and make a wild card round.
There you go. Now we're talking money. Now we're talking money. That's a man who's done his homework. He's not just pulling statements and making insults. He knows what he's talking about. There you go.
Insult. By the way, would any Raiders fan ever wear another team's shirt, by the way?
I'm a fan of money.
I wouldn't.
Who does that? Like, who does that? Who does that?
So, all right, listen. So, all right, we're all on the same team tonight.
Young rappers could have learned from me. You better wear your
We're all on the same team tonight, except
no, he's a Jets fan. I don't think that's the same team. I'm just saying. I'm not even sure why he's on the show. Honestly, he should have been on the Jets version of this show.
And you should have been on the I bag on my own team because I have no faith.
What?
Show. All right.
What?
So we're gonna go to our second.
Not bagging on our own team.
We're gonna go to our second.
We're not bagging on our own team. We're not insulting. He asked for a prediction. We are giving predictions. We can't give an honest prediction. You're getting all first of all, you a little too offended. You too soft to be a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Sure. You a little too offended over there.
All right. Now we're going into soft stuff. All right, listen, we gotta move on because we got a long show. So listen, let's
all salt, stale chips. I'm not tripping.
Spicy Raider mentioned. No, I knocked my phone over. My bad. Spicy Raider Girl mentioned JB didn't know his history. We're about to find out right now because we're going to play Fantasy Quiz Show Raiders Edition. Let's split this team up. I like Mother Moon, Spicy Raider Girl, and Kenny King together on one side, and we're going to Ryan, JB, and Chris on the other. We're going to
I'm sorry,
basically
Chris.
run.
I'm sorry. You gotta
It
go with
runs
it,
like-
Jess. I'm sorry, man. That's
it
not
runs like
cool.
it
You're
runs like
dirty.
Family Feud. So I'm gonna pair you all up and ask a question. Just shout out the answer if you know it. If you get the highest one, you'll earn it for your team. If you guys can close it out, you guys will get the point for the round. You'll have 3 strikes, just like Family Feud. If you get all 3 strikes, the other team gets a chance to steal and take the point away. Here we go. It's Fantasy Quiz Show Raiders Edition.
There seems to be no sign of intelligence.
It's the Fantasy Quiz Show.
Justin Jefferson.
It's gonna be a long game. Not gonna be a long game tonight. We got Raiders experts in the building. Let's get it started with Kenny and the guy who talks too much, Ryan, to start the first round. Let's go round number 1. And I always make this a layup so you guys get it easy for the first round. We're going to go top 5 answers on the board. And here's your question. I'm looking at your all-time history. I want to know your top 5 pass thrown TD leaders.
Derek Carr, Jim Plunkett, Daryl.
Derek Carr is number 1 on this list with 217. So Kenny, you've won it for your team. Spicy Raider Girl, what guess do you have?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Well, go ahead.
Same question?
Same question. Yes, ma'am.
Ken Stabler.
Kenny Stabler. Fun fact, I have my picture as a child with Kenny Stabler when he came down here to Miami for a scrimmage. So ironically enough, I had no idea who he is, but my dad's like, "Oh, it's Kenny. It's go buy him." I was like, "All right, cool."
Real quick side note, just for fun. We were on what was that show? Dives and whatever. The guy from Everyone. Him and Kenny Stabler were at our tailgate, La Familia Tailgaters in Oakland, California, back I don't know, it's probably like 10 years ago. Anyway, little fun side note.
Bro, we're totally Googling that. I got to go check that out. That's
Oh, yeah, check it out.
Mother Moon, what say you? Do you have a guess? We got 1 and 2 on the board. What say you next?
I'm going to say one of my favorites, Mr. Tom Flores.
Tom Flores.
That's my
This
Pete.
gives you a Neil Diamond field almost. He's number 5 on the list with 92. You got 2 and 5. Kenny, what else you got?
Rich Gannon.
Yep.
Rich Gannon. Mr. Gannon's number 4 on this list with 114. Spicy Raider Girl, can you close this round out with a sweep for number 3?
Yeah, I actually think Kenny said it already because I thought he was running the list, which is Daryl LaMonica. Yeah.
Daryl
Bomber.
Yeah.
Swept the round. Congratulations. You guys went all through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1-0. Kenny King, great job. Now we're about to get spicy. Spicy Raider Girl. JB, okay. You guys are up for question number 2. Gotta love it. All right, we're going to go top. Let me make sure it's 5 here. We're going to go top 6 answers on the board. Here is the question. I'm still looking at your all-time history, but I want to know about winning percentages. And I want to know the teams you have the best winning percentage against.
Who goes?
Either one of you.
Just shout
it out. You or JB.
Well, we'll let JB go since he's the expert. Give him more chances.
JB, got a guess?
What, the team that the Raiders beat up on the most?
Yep, the best winning percentage against
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. Ooh-wee. That is numero uno on this list. The Bucks.
Giving
You guys
you
are
that grease.
you are 7-3 all time against the Bucks. That's a 700 winning percentage. Great job off the jump, JB. Chris, let's go to you. What guess you got?
See, now I'm gonna look like I'm not the real Raider fan, you know, and I'm die hard. But okay, let me see. Ooh,
This is kind of tough, though. I mean, to know stats.
yeah.
This gets everybody
no, it's
every
not.
time.
No,
Fine.
it's not tough at all. It's not tough at all. Just got to know how to work the system.
Shoot, I'm gonna say the Seahawks.
The Seahawks. On the list, decent guess. Ryan, what say you?
I'm going to go Cleveland Browns. I've seen a lot of Raiders-Browns games, and the Raiders have won a lot of those. And the Raiders were good back in the 70s and 80s, so I'm going to go Cleveland, AFC foe.
It's a good guess.
The Brownies. They are on this list at number 3. You guys are 15-10 all time against the Browns. That's a 600 winning percentage. JB, we're back to you. What say you?
Let's see here. I think that Raiders played quite a few games versus the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. I know when that AFL merger was over, and they were winning quite a few. I'll go with the Steelers. I'll throw them on there. That's kind of old school, though.
The Steelers. Like the best names to say, the Raiders.
I said it was easy, JB. What happened? Did you just say it was easy?
Nobody over here on this company behind me cries about losses or wrong answers. Next question.
Chris, what say you, sir? You got all the pressure on you. You got 2 strikes on you.
I know, man. Oh man. Okay. I'm going to say the Cincinnati Bengals. They've sucked for so long. We gotta beat them. We gotta.
They are on the list. They're number 2 all time. You guys are 19-12 all time against the Bengals. That's a 613 winning percentage. Brian, back to you. You've got 2 strikes. You're missing number 4, 5, and 6 on this list.
I'm going to go Denver Broncos. They've beaten them up pretty good here lately. I think they've beaten them six in a row. And over the history, they beat up on them a little bit. So I'm going to stay in the AFC West and say Broncos.
The Broncos. No. All right, so Kenny and Mother Moon and Spicy. I want to say Mother feels weird. Spicy, you guys can talk this out and come up with a concise answer. You're missing 4, 5, and 6. You're looking for the teams you have the best winning percentage against. Talk it out.
I mean, I know Raiders have owned the Chargers a long time, so.
No, I don't think the Chargers.
I just want to go way back to either like.
Oh no, Mother Moon, follow me here.
Okay.
How many games have we been to, and how many times have we seen the Raiders win?
None.
It's very few. So
Right.
think of the games that we have seen them win.
That we have. Seen
I'm gonna go Vikings.
All right, so what do you think? You guys good with the Vikings?
They have to be up there somewhere or down there somewhere.
Vikings got to be on that list for sure.
That's a good one.
It's got to be like an NFC team. It's got to be
What
like
about the Lions?
Or,
Lions should be
how about
there.
the New York Football Giants?
Ooh.
Up to you guys.
Let's go. Who y'all got now?
I would. No,
Okay, go, Kenny.
we
You
can
go.
discuss
Those are my nominations. You go, Kenny.
Okay, I go with the Vikings.
Okay.
What do you say, Kenny?
I'll take the Vikings.
They're going with the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, nail it indeed. The Minnesota Vikings, they're actually number 4 on this list. You guys are 9-6 all time against the Vikings. Number 5 on the list and tied with the Giants with the same winning percentage, but 5 is the Panthers. You guys are 4-3. 5. It's a 571 winning percentage. Giants 8-6 is number 6 on the list. 571. So you're right on the Giants and
Panthers
the Vikings.
Panthers wasn't even on my radar.
Hey, I like it. I like it. All right, so we're up to round number 3. It's 2-0 right now. Chris, you got to win this out for your team. You guys got to tighten up. You don't get swept. All right, Mother Moon and Chris, here we go. Top 5 answers on the board. Here is your question. I'm going to stick with that winning percentage theme, but I'm going to go opposite end. I want to know the teams you got the worst winning percentage against.
Worst. Well, I have to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, does that work? I mean, that's an obvious.
Unfortunately, yep.
The Chiefs. They are on this list at number 5, 53, 70, and 2 all time against
Although
the Chiefs.
We were at the most epic game in Oakland when the Raiders beat the Chiefs when they had to score 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
0 time on the clock. That was the most epic game I think I've ever been to.
I had like 3 heart attacks that game.
Yeah, you did. I know you did. I had 4.
All right, Kenny, let's go to you. You guys got control. Can you close this thing out for the W? Give me a team you got the worst winning percentage against.
I'm going to go with the Packers.
The Green Bay Packers. They are actually number 2 on this list. You guys are 5-8 all time against the Packers. That's a 385 winning percentage. Spicy, what do you got?
Yep.
You got this, girl.
Who do we see in Mexico City? Was that the Texans?
Yep.
I feel like it was the Texans. We actually thought we were going to win that game. But winning a game for us in a way is like seeing a leprechaun, and I don't think I've ever seen one, so I'm going to go Texans.
Listen, this has been on everybody's list on this side. The Houston Texans. And on the flip side, Houston Texans, you guys are number 4 on this list. You guys are 5-7 all time against Houston. That's a 417 winning percentage. Crazy enough. Mother Moon, can you close out here? Or sorry, we're missing 2. My bad. So we're missing 2 here, but you have no strikes.
I'm just gonna go with a color, I guess, that brings. Is there a team with like a purple? Let me see. Is that?
No, that was on the winning list. Don't do that one.
I didn't say it yet. Let me think this through. I'm picturing.
You see the pressure building.
Let's go with the Ravens.
She goes purple. The Ravens.
I'm thinking.
Good one.
It's like the females that win the football pool just because they're picking the favorite city they like. Like, come on, are you joking right now? The Ravens are they're number 1 on this list. You guys are 4-8 all time against the Ravens. Kenny, you got 1 missing here. Can you close out this round and sweep it to win?
I'm going to keep it with the bird theme and go the Seahawks.
The Seahawks. Keeping it with the Seahawks, indeed.
Wait, did you also say the Seahawks for winning also, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Someone said it.
Someone did.
Yeah,
Oh, you okay.
Spicy, you got a chance here to close it out with a sweep.
Come on, Spicy.
Do you know the team?
Stick with the theme. Pick an animal.
I'm gonna go with Panthers. I'll stick with the theme, Moon. I'll go with an animal. Panthers.
The Panthers.
Wrong animal. Jaguars.
They were good. They were on the last one. The Panthers.
Yeah, we beat the Panthers a lot.
Mother Moon, are you sticking with the theme here? Or do you have another guess? So you got 2 strikes, no pressure at all.
Come on.
There's still more? Okay.
I literally just said it. Come on.
I know. Oh, do I get to take that? Okay. Yeah, the Panthers. I didn't know.
No!
No! What?
No!
Now you got me all confused.
Stop it. Get some help.
Come on!
Listen. All right,
You literally
Ryan.
gave the same wrong answer.
I know.
Ryan,
I did. That
JB,
didn't count.
and
I should
Chris.
have a mulligan, a do-over or something.
We literally
You
just
can
said
talk.
it twice,
We
but
ain't playing golf, Mother Moon. All right, so Ryan, JB, and Chris, you guys can talk this out.
do you really have to talk it out?
You're missing one team here. One team, they think they know the answer, but do you have something else?
So.
For this one team, you have the worst winning percentage against.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Spicy's answer here. We're gonna go with Jaguars.
Yeah, I was about to say, with them being a newer team,
They like
They
it.
lost a lot of games.
All right.
It was my
All right.
answer.
I'm good with that.
Let's run.
Moon poke. Moon poke.
Save.
Moon
I just
poke.
basket hang on that one. I just basket hang on that one.
That didn't count.
Ball
That
game
really,
off.
really
I'm
didn't
looking.
count.
I'm looking.
2,
Y'all know what I
1.
meant.
2,
We
Y'all
feel
know what I
1.
sorry for
Great.
them. We wanted to throw them a bone.
Great job there. Look, we're back to Kenny and Ryan. Let's go. It's 2-1. Top 5 answers are on the board. Here is your question. I'm looking again at all-time history. I want to know your top 5 rush TD leaders.
Mm.
Josh Jacobs.
Marcus Allen.
Oh, we got a list.
Marcus Allen. Nice job, because Marcus Allen is numero uno on this list at 79. All right, back to JB. What guess do you have, sir?
Let me see. You said top 5 Raiders running backs of all time?
Not running backs, rush TD leaders.
Oh, just rush TDs. Okay.
Because otherwise, I would
Let
just
me try Napoleon Kaufman. I remember he was in like the mid 2000s, man. He was like the 1 yard line guy. Napoleon Kaufman. They just kept giving him stuff. He was like a 1 yard
Napoleon
line
Kaufman. Good
Think
guess.
you're thinking of McCown.
That was a good guess. That was a guess.
Chris, what say you, sir?
Speaking of goal line guy, my boy Zach Crockett. Let's get it.
Zach,
Let's get it.
Right.
Let's get
right.
it.
Right.
Number 5 on this list with 35. I like it. Let's go to Ryan. Back to you. You got another guess.
I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna go Mark Van Egan.
Mark Van Egan.
Oh.
He is tied with Zach Crockett at 35. All right. Gotta love it. Listen, you're missing 2 and 3 on this list. JB, what say you?
Pete Benazic.
Pete.
Oh, I forgot about that. He went back on that.
He just Googled it.
Whatever works.
Where's my guy in the back?
1,000 baseball cards and football cards as a kid. I used to teach math.
He's number.
Got a
He's
nose for them
number.
numbers. Got a nose for
He's
them
number
numbers.
2 on this list with 47. You're missing just 1, Chris, at number 3. Do you know it?
Chris, I'm rooting for you, even though you're
Yeah,
not on
me
my
too.
team.
Come on, Chris, you got this.
I want to say No. I'm gonna say JJ.
Josh Jacobs.
I'm gonna say JJ.
Whoop, whoop.
That as you have now tied this bad boy up. Josh Jacobs is number 3 with 40 on the list.
Can I just,
All right.
Can I just do a little side caveat? I would like to throw Bo Jackson in there as honorary because I think he would be on that list if he didn't get
He would have
injured.
broke it. He would have broke
Yeah,
it.
he would have broke. I'll tell you, yeah, man. Bo knew. That's for damn sure. All right, so listen, this is the way we want to end this, isn't it? We go 2-2, and look who got up to bat. It's JB and Spicy to settle this thing. Mano y mano. We gotta love it. We had to break down.
It's not fair. This is not fair.
Top five answers on the board. Here's your question. I'm looking again, all-time history, but I want to know who are your top 5 receiving touchdown leaders?
Easy.
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown. Downtown Tim Brown, 99 is number 1 on this list. Great job, Spicy. Mother Moon, go to you again, receiving touchdown leaders.
Now, my heartthrob, Cliff Branch.
Oh, you got the photo? Show him the
I don't have the photo. But
Oh.
He put a ring on it. We're
Oh.
just gonna say that.
You put a ring on him, too. Great job indeed. He is number 3 on the list with 67. Kenny, back to you.
Todd Christensen.
Todd Christensen.
He was up there.
Now I have to say, man, as a commentator, I hated Ty. He always hated on the Dolphins. Every time he was on, every time he was a hater. He was like the Chris Collinsworth that is everybody back then. People don't remember. I do. I still remember that. Spicy Raider girl, what say you?
I'm going to use this as an opportunity to plug myself and Chris's new show premiering next Wednesday. And it's called Wine Down Wednesday, premiering. And because of that, I would like to say Fred Belitnikoff because of his wine. Ow.
I love it, Fred Belitnikoff. Number 2 on this list with 76. You guys are missing 4 and 5, only 1 strike. Mother Moon, what's your next guess?
Well, I'm gonna have to go way back to, along with, this isn't who I'm saying, but along with my people back from the beginning, like Tom Flores, I'm gonna have to go way back with Art Powell.
Oh,
Art Powell.
Yes.
Number 4 with 50. Oh my goodness, Kenny, there's only 1 strike on you. Can you close us out for the W? I'm looking for number 5.
I feel like we got to go way back too, and
yeah.
I'm gonna go Ghost to the Post, Dave Casper.
Dave
that's a good one.
How? Not a friendly ghost today.
Wow.
You got 2 strikes now. Spicy, can you clutch this thing out for your team and win it? Do you know?
Come on, Spicy.
Moon. Who'd you say again, Moon?
Oh yeah, don't say who I said. I said Art Powell. Don't say
Okay.
that again.
Right,
Like
yeah.
That was my answer. I just want to clear my
don't
name.
say that.
Yeah. Jeez.
Go back to my era.
Go back. Oh, okay. But y'all, when they were winning, okay. I'm gonna go Warren Wells.
Warren Wells. Call it the War of the Worlds if you want to. Spicy Raider girl clutch tonight. He is number 5 with 42 touchdowns on the year. Listen, that was an excellent game. Probably definitely way to close this summer tour out with one of the tightest fantasy quiz show games we've had. Spicy Raider girl, Mother Moon, and Kenny King, you are tonight's winners. And it was almost like Wheel of Fortune when the wheel doesn't go your way. That's kind of how I felt with Ryan, JB, and Chris tonight. You guys had the answers, just the ball didn't bounce your way, unfortunately. But on this show,
there was no spread or money line. It's all good.
Yeah, I feel you. When we have winners on our show, unfortunately, we do end up with some losers.
Dumbass. Dang these. They call me dumbass. Black entertainment. Stupid.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Not a chance anymore. It's ball game. All right, let's go around the room. Let's everyone get a chance to plug themselves. Kenny King, we'll start with you. Where can we follow, subscribe, get all your great content?
You can go to KennyKingJr.com. You can check me out on Twitter at @the_Kenny King. Oh, I'm sorry. Twitter's Kenny King _Jr. All other socials at @the_Kenny King Jr. Check me out. They're kind of funny.
He kind of makes you laugh.
Kind of a big deal. He's kind of a big deal.
All right, let's go to Ryan next, the man of so many words. Where can we follow, subscribe, get your great content, friend?
Yeah, you can follow on Twitter. It's at RHOLM22. I do a lot of all 22 breakdowns during the season. Got a couple podcasts, mainly Put On Raiders podcast with my co-host Dwayne Douglas. That's available on YouTube. So just look up Put On Raiders podcast. And then I do also do some full coverage Raiders podcasts as well with Terrence Biggs.
Awesome. Well, make sure you get on, follow, subscribe. This is a big year. Like every year, love to get all this Raider content in. Mother Moon, where can we get your great stuff?
Well, I'm a Sport Life Our Raider story, and I'll just kick that over to Spicy Raider Girl to give you all the details because there was so much going on. So kick it, girl.
All right, Mother Moon, thank you. Yes, For Life Our Raider story. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and we are going to start. We were a little hiatus. We are back this Monday for Life Our Raiderettes Roundtable. We are going to have the fabulous Raiderette Donna on the show, so tune in for that interview. And like I plugged earlier, Chris and I are going to debut our Wind Down Wednesday, and we're calling it the Spicy Shield Talk.
Spicy Shield Talk.
Tune in for that. And of course, you know, if you're an Oakland Raiders fan, if you're in the Bay Area, Mother Moon's got it right there. We got the season opener party September 10th. We're bringing it back to Ricky's. JB's never heard of Ricky's because he's not from Oakland. He's not from the town.
I'm over it now.
You were never under it.
Love it. All right. Well, hey, make sure you follow, subscribe, get all Spicy Raider Girl content. JB, my friend, it's been a fun
all the
night,
adults
man.
in the building.
Let's
all
shake
the
it
adults
off.
in the building. You can listen to me every Saturday and Sunday morning live on the radio, KSHP AM 1400, with my co-host from Carpinteria, California, Ron Third Down Best Bets. I'm on all of your major podcasts, iHeartRadio sponsored, TuneIn sponsored. You can find me any and everywhere real sports media personalities are, and I'm the #1 in sports betting here in Vegas. All you trolls and people with jokes, go get the losses. All you people with bankrolls, come to me. Let's get the money.
By the way, Carpinteria, California is where the Dallas Cowboys training camp is, everybody.
All right. And also, let's go to our man, Chris. I know Spicy's already kind of plugged your new venture with her, but where can we get your other great stuff, my friend?
Yeah, so Protect the Shield podcast. So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, IG. I do a live show every Friday, and then I also co-host a Nothing But Raiders show on Tuesday. And just like Spicy said, we are starting up our show on Wednesday that I'm very excited about. So definitely check us out. And I do a lot of live interviews with former players and coaches.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'll tune in for that. I always love that. Make sure you follow, subscribe, get his great content as well. Get all these great content. I mean, this is going to be a good season. We're excited for your Raiders. Good luck to your Raiders this season. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys are more than welcome to stick around. We're going to do our fantasy focus. I'm going to bring my boys back and talk about the Raiders from a fantasy perspective. More than welcome to stick around. If not, though, I totally get it. We appreciate you coming in, and we'll see you next time. And again, good luck to your Raiders. We appreciate you.
Raiders!
Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. No team management, no trades, no waivers. It's their biggest contest ever and it has only gotten bigger. You simply have to sit and win. You don't even have to set your lineup. Always get your best score every week. Just enter a contest, draft your team, and Underdog will do the rest. What could make this even better? How about free money, up to $100 using our exclusive promo code? Go online now and use the promo code TSS to double your deposit up to $100. You tell them Gingerbread sent you. Good girl.
Listen, I'm gonna say a couple things. Oh, my bad. Let me take Mother Moon actually. Listen, I'm gonna say a couple things, right? So we've had Sean Merriman on the summer tour show. We had Randall Hill in here. We've had some really some good and some great guests along the way. But let me tell you something. That was probably one of the most funnest things I've ever had on this show. Is Spicy about to fight somebody on Raiders fan. I can't even believe it. That was a lot of fun, though. I appreciate you. All right, well, let's get focused now. Let's get the fantasy focus going on the Raiders.
Coop, I've been going to Raiders 49ers games. That's exactly the vibe. Every single time. It's so much fun, though. It's so much fun.
I love it.
And if you're not in the fights, it's even better.
I love it. That's my kind of stuff right there. Let's get focused. We'll talk about the Raiders with fantasy. All right, I'm gonna make this quick on Jimmy G. Look, great NFL. I don't want to say great, but he's a good NFL quarterback. Fantasy-wise, not so great. DeVonta Adams, he's got great weapons here and a good run game to help protect him. Again, as a good, efficient NFL quarterback. Fantasy-wise, I'm not looking his way. I got him 29th, so I'll just make that kind of quick. Jordan, what say you?
Yeah, if you want, 14 fantasy points a game, go get you some Jimmy Garoppolo. Other than that, I ain't touching him. I don't think I have him as a quarterback 29. I'm a little bit higher on him. I've got him at quarterback 28.
All right, Nick, how about you, my friend?
Yeah, I pretty much share the same sentiments as you and just as Judge does. I forgot his name already. I'm sorry. Jordan. That's it. Jordan. I'm sorry. He's a game manager, and in this realm of fantasy football, he'd be at DFS or best ball. Not even a best ball, but super flex. So I have him at 24.
Justin, tell me why your boy is why we're wrong, and your boy is something we should look at.
Don't do that to me. Don't set me up.
I don't even think Justin could defend that.
If anybody's been keeping up with TSS for a long ass time, you know two things. I don't like Russell Wilson and I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. He might be 101 in the handsome quarterback contest, but he is 27 as far as a quarterback, and that's being generous. This man is not a good quarterback. This man is completely scripted. I mean, he's like most Hollywood guys. Oh man, or most Hollywood actors. Period. Man, it's great to look at you. You can read a hell of a script. You can do all the things you need to do. But outside of that, I don't know what's behind those eyes because he can't read a defense. He can't communicate with his teammates. He had George Kittle calling him out saying, hey, you were a terrible fucking teammate, bro. Like, you didn't answer my phone calls. You didn't answer my texts. If it wasn't in season, you were just not there. So, Spicy Rated Girl, you need to tell your boy Mark Davis, get out there and find a different quarterback because it ain't working for however many years it's been going now.
All right, Spicy. Now, you're going to tell us why we're wrong, or you like Jimmy for fantasy?
I'll give you my opinion, but I'm not a fantasy football girl. I've never played, but this is what I think about Jimmy G. Listen, he is a winning quarterback. The problem is he doesn't play enough, right? He's injured too often. However, if you want to compare him to Derek Carr, I think it's a good trade. Well, I know they didn't trade him, but I think it's a good swap, whatever, because we're going to get the same amount of wins out of Jimmy G for less money. So for that, like, I'm cool with it. And
Yeah,
to
really.
Justin's point, he is pretty to look at.
101 and
That makes
dance
the loss
before
easier. All right, let's go to the meat and potatoes, right? Josh Jacobs, obviously, he was one of the best fantasy assets last season of any team. I love Josh Jacobs, even going into this season. I think they'll even focus on him a little bit more with Jimmy G in. I put all that other stuff aside, quite frankly, because I can't control that, and I don't really know what this guy's going to do. Could he be posturing? There's I understand the want to get paid stuff. I get it. So, but I don't know, is he willing to sit out and then get fined? I don't think so. I think he'll play. So with that,
and Spectrum, you suck.
No, not my phone. Nick, what they do?
Right now, I have I'm sorry, Josh Jacobs ranked at number 5. Last year, he just came in, and it was a contract year for him. And he said, "You know what, F you, I am going to bet on myself." And he turned out to be the best back in the league last year. But in a PPR fantasy role, I have him at 5 because respectively, he is behind McCaffrey, Eckler, Barkley, and Taylor. But if he's available at your first round pick, go get him. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, he's an RB1, I think, all day. Justin, what's you?
You will be disappointed when he holds out, though.
Oh, here we go.
Because you are going to be spending big freaking picks on somebody who's not going to be there. Hey, listen, Josh Jacobs.
Who's the curmudgeon now on the show? Who is the curmudgeon now?
Hey, Nick, hold on there, buddy. While you were over there celebrating and having fun on vacation, I had to take on this role. I had to become this sort of an evil.
Justin, stop. Justin, stop flossing. All right, let's go.
I'll love you. I will let you have it. I'll let you have it.
Anyways, I'm just gonna say this: Josh Jacobs, hell of a freaking running back. One of the best in the game. He has shown constantly year in and year out he's a durable guy. The problem is year in and year out, the Raiders have been trying to replace him. Ask Spicy about how they've been trying to get rid of him for a long ass time. And it kind of pisses me off because it's like, dude, you've got the next Derrick Henry in your backfield. Like, this guy just doesn't get hurt. And when he does, it's only for like 2 games. So he's not missing years. He's missing a couple games and then he's back. He puts the team on his back and they treat him like dog shit. And you know what? I'm so for it. Sit out, my man. Set the record straight. Running backs aren't done. Pay them.
All right. Well, Jordan, what say you on the subject? Where do you got Josh Jacobs?
I don't think the Raiders have much incentive to make sure this man gets back on the field because I think he might take them from a 4-win team to a 6-win team. So at the end of the day, maybe he does sit out. And to your point, that's exactly why I'm not touching him. I've got him at RB6. I think when he plays, he's going to be money, but it's a lot to gamble on your first overall pick on somebody who may or may not be there to start the season for you.
Indeed. That's the big question. So I'll ask you.
I feel like from what I've been seeing, like with his social media and him leaving Vegas and things like that, I think he holds out. And I respect that actually, because I don't think in any industry you should undercut your industry with taking less money. The running back's an important position, and without it, the NFL doesn't really. You can't like run your offense like that. So if everyone keeps undercutting each other, it's just going to eliminate the position, and then nobody's going to want to play running back. The talent's not going to come through. And I like this stance he's taking. I come from the film and I'm going to divert here a little bit, but I come from the film and photography industry, and the writers are on strike right now, and the actors are supporting them for good reason, because you shouldn't take in any industry, you shouldn't take less money than what you're worth. So I like the stance he's taken. I get it. Running backs have a smaller career, a shortened lifespan, if you will, but they need that position. So they need to get paid. So And I think he holds out, and I support it.
I mean, he's not wrong, but I know your buddy JB a little spicy talk there, but I thought he made a good point in that it's the center position right now of the NBA where it's kind of gone away from the importance as it used to be. It used to be very important. Now it's kind of like, yeah, it's important, but is it that important?
Yeah, it is. I think it is because you need it. If you know that you're going to throw, okay, so
Chiefs, for example, like teams that have done it without that. I guess the point is to the owners anyway. It's the short lifespan, and the NFL has changed to a pass-heavy league, so to speak. So I think that's pretty much where we're at with that. But I totally agree with what you're saying. I think that they're totally right in doing it. I just think there still is that point of the value of the running back has gone down. So it's like, well, look what happens when we put these big money contracts up, then the next year you're nothing and I'm still paying you kind of thing. So anyway, all right, well, let's move. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna make 2 points on that. I think like, the Ezekiel Elliott thing kind of like led the charge on this, right? Because his yards declined every single year and now he's unsigned. And then like the NFL is recognizing that. And then my other thought was, okay, you see like Saquon Barkley, it seemed like they're on this Zoom call from what we see in social media or something, and they united. And then he was like, "Oh, actually, I'll take the franchise tag, and I have a moral victory." And then you kind of leave the other guys hanging a little bit.
Right.
So
that's exactly what happened.
It's because Saquon's smart and he went and got his bag.
He fucking bent over backwards.
Did you see that contract? He took a crappy deal.
but he took like a moral victory.
I'll give you 11 million reasons why that deal was worth it. I'm just saying I would have taken the deal too.
All goals he has never achieved.
Get paid, son.
Goals he's never achieved.
Agreed. I
think he could have held out and fucking got more money in the offseason.
Or he could have held out and become Le'Veon Bell.
I mean,
at the end of the day, Josh Jacobs, I think, is not going to miss out on $10 million, and he'll probably hold out for the training camp. But I feel like I'll see him for opening day because, listen, come back as a running back. You're the top dog in the game. Take your $10 million, and I think this is just a point he's trying to prove, and I respect that. Ooh, enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, and I think Kenny brought that point up too. Is like, what if he skips training camp, no big deal to me. He's going to be on that football field when game one. If he walks in that door week one, he's going to be taking first team reps. That's what we know. So
hey, Jordan, Le'Veon Bell got paid $13 million a year the next year.
Did he with the Chiefs? After that,
$35 million guaranteed contract.
Justin's not ready to let this go. He's feeling the spice from earlier. I think he's not ready. Let's go. All right, we gotta move this on. All right, we got DeVonta Adams. I mean, all right. Look, at the end of the day, I'm sitting here saying Jimmy G's not going to be good, but I have DeVonta Smith fifth, so I think that's for good reason. Or DeVonta Adams. So sorry, I got Smith or Devontae Adams. My bad. I got them all mixed up apparently, but again, he's that guy, and Jimmy G's gonna go to him consistently and he's done well in the 49ers offense with Deebo Samuel as the number one. I like DeVonta Adams a lot this year, Devontae, whatever. Jacoby Myers to me is the question mark. What does this kid look like in a different offense? I'm not quite sure, to be honest, because he didn't look all that great with the Patriots offense. So, whatever. But I got him right now ranked 50th because he he showed up a few times here now and again, but he's more or less a flex play for me if you need something. Hunter Renfrow, DeAndre Carter, not really looking at them either. So, again, that would just be my guy here is DeVonta Adams. We're going to go to Justin first on this one. What do you say?
I am very tempted to put DeVonta Adams in the bottom of my top 12, like literally 12, and it sucks. But with no Josh Jacobs on the field, you have a rookie tight end, and nobody's really worried about Jacoby Myers, even though they should be. He's a really good receiver. That says triple team to me. And whether he's handled that before or not, he's a year older, tad bit slower, and he might not come down with 100 catches this year. And I think a lot of people are really going to this whole thing where he had this amazing year last year with a quarterback he has known since college, had a great repertoire with, and now he's going to Jimmy Garoppolo, and everybody's saying, "Oh, well, Jimmy Garoppolo used to play in the Patriots system. He knows it super well." And you know, it's a one-to-one trade, and I agree. It's like Spider-Man looking at Spider-Man. It's Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo. They're the same quarterback, but I don't think the camaraderie is going to be there, and I really do think that teams are going to hone in on him being the only superior talent on that team, and are going to want to shut him down with as much as possible. 2 safeties, a linebacker, and a safety along with the corner, whatever it takes to put DeVonta Adams out of the game and make it as easy as possible to beat the Raiders. Now, if Josh Jacobs comes back, it turns into a whole different conversation. But until then, I kind of put him at like wide receiver 12 right now. And then Jacoby Myers, actually one of the sneaky good plays that I like about like 10 rounds later. I like him as a guy to really come across because he's a slot receiver. Jimmy G loves to utilize the middle of the field. He's actually best when he utilizes the middle of the field. He's not a great deep ball thrower. He's not great on the numbers. He is one of those guys that loves a good tight end. And since they don't really have a great tight end in the rookie Mike Mayer right now, they're going to need that short range receiver, and that's going to be Jacoby Myers.
All right. I like it. Jordan, what say you?
So I thought I was going to get tore up by Fantasy Jesus over here from saying that I had DeVonta Adams at 9, but if you got him at 12, man, I could dig it. Maybe I got him a little bit too high. Listen, the first reaction is, hey, there's no Darren Waller. There's nothing else here for them to throw to.
What?
But then you realize the same thing. Well, if Josh Jacobs misses any time, there's nothing else to throw to. So, and Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing the ball. I don't trust him to deliver fantasy points and capacity that Derek Carr did. So I've got him at 9. He's still a wide receiver 1, but I'm not expecting him to blow the roof off. I very much in line with Justin. I think Jacoby Myers is a pretty solid dart throw later in drafts, who I think will return some wide receiver 3 weeks and flex weeks for you. I don't think he'll be anything kind of consistent or anything like that, but he's going to be somebody that's viable in some lineup later down the road.
Nick, excuse me, Nick, what do you have to say?
Yeah, respectively, PPR, I have DeVonta at 7, Myers at 46, and then fourth and Renfro at 49. Now,
did you say fourth and Renfro?
Yes, I did. Fourth and Renfro.
You mean third and Renfro? Third and Renfro.
Is it third and Renfro? Okay, fine.
Because he gets the extra yard on third down, so you don't get to the fourth one.
Well, with the year that he had last season, he might be fourth in Renfro now.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that one. You might be right on that.
I'm gonna agree with my compatriots here. But when do we? The thing that bothers me is not so much how bad Jimmy G is or could be. At what point do we see Brian Hoyer? That's really going to set the tone for when all these numbers start to drop. And then to the tight end point, we're going to segue into that anyway. Right now, as of July 27, 2023, it's Austin Hooper is slated to start. And we all know rookie tight ends don't even do anything, even though your name is Kyle Pitts. So I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Well, Spicy Raider girl, what do you think about these receivers?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Like I said, I can't really speak on the fantasy thing. But listen, DeVonta Adams is the top receiver in the league. All right, he's gonna get his numbers. And then third and Renfro. I actually call him third and fall forward, to be honest, because I don't like the fact that he only gets the 1 yard and he doesn't go for any more. But yeah, there are weapons. I mean, the new tight end draft, I like that. with Michael. I'm good with the Darren Waller trade. So you've got DeVonta, you've got Michael, you've got Renfro, and then Jacoby. Like, yeah, I'm happy with it. As long as Jacobs comes back, I think that's a good offense.
Well, we usually wrap things up with the tight ends and defenses. I don't even know what we're talking about though here. I mean, all right, so here's your list. Tight ends: Austin Hooper, Michael Mayer, and OJ Howard's on this tight end list.
Ooh.
I listen. I know Jimmy G likes the tight end, but I just right now, I know this is one thing we're gonna play.
Was that a joke, by the way? Was that a joke? I know Jimmy G likes the tight end. I don't know what.
No, no, because he threw a lot to George Kittle. Actually, no, it wasn't like that. So as I think the FN Sports so eloquently put it, they have Jacobs, Adam, Jimmy G roll credits because it's tight end and defenses. I'm not looking at none of the tight ends or the defense on this roster. Jordan, tell me why I'm wrong or move on.
Michael Mayer's going to make some noise this year. It's going to be in the back half. Man, that guy, he just reminds me of Jason Witten. He's definitely got some talent. He was a highly ranked prospect coming into this draft. And again, there's nothing there in Las Vegas. I get it. DeVonta Adams might still be the best wide receiver on earth. You may not be wrong there, Spicy Raider Girl, but he's no longer the best fantasy wide receiver on earth. And that ship has sailed. But Michael Mayer is somebody I don't know if I'm going to throw a dart or two at him in a draft or if I'm just going to wait and scoop him up on the waiver wires. But he is somebody that I think could be kind of a second half breakout.
All right. Got a little plug here. Nick, what do you got? Anything spicy in there?
No, I don't want to upset her. The Raiders, I think JB already took care of that. They're ranked 30th.
I took care of him. You got it wrong.
Well, he set the wheels in motion. I mean, they're 30th ranked defense. I mean, what do you do with that, really? I mean, they got a lot of promise on the back end. They got two good guys on defense, Crosby and Chandler, and that's it.
Tyree, really, I think he's going to take it.
All right. Well, Justin, how about you? Tell us why. Well, me and Nick are wrong here.
I don't know if anybody's really wrong, but I do agree with Jordan in the sense that I do think that Michael Mayer is a steal. Dude should have been probably the number one guy out, but I understand why Dalton Kincaid was. There's just something electric about him. He has kind of that athletic feel of Travis Kelce, but Michael Mayer dominated at his time at Notre Dame, and he was the legit only person on that field taking any attention from the defense. Nobody cared about anything on Notre Dame but stopping Michael Mayer, and they still couldn't stop him. I think that with the New England offense in there, the tight end is always a wild card option to be a fantasy asset. And like Jordan said, it'll just be a dart throw. And you just kind of go, hold on to him for a couple weeks, see what happens, see how the offense progresses. And if it works out, hell, you just got yourself a winner.
I like that. A little fantasy nugget for you going into these drafts. I mean, again, why not take a stab at a late tight end who could come up later and be that guy? There's always one. We might have just laid that nugget right here. But what do you think, Spicy Raider Girl?
You're still asking me because I don't know anything about fantasy football.
No, I wanted to know what you thought about the tight end position. Do you think Michael Mayer plays well in your system, basically?
Oh, for sure. I'm here for it. I've been saying this on my show for Life on Raider Story. Go ahead and subscribe. I've been saying this on my show for a couple of seasons now. Like Darren Waller, he just wasn't a fit. He wasn't playing, and I don't think he was that injured because when the Raiders had a playoff push, all of a sudden he's like magically back on the field. Like I thought you were injured. You were on the sideline and now you're back. So I'm glad he's gone, to be honest. And then Michael Mayer, to Justin's point, he looks like a good, strong tight end. And I'm here for it. So I like the change.
I love it. Yeah, this Raiders team, let's see where it heads. We know Spicy Raider Girl's fired up. We're all fired up now for these Raiders. It'll be interesting to see. Good luck to your team this year.
Thank you.
We
Thank
appreciate you
you.
once again joining us. We are
For
wrapping
sure.
up our summer tour tomorrow. It's the Kansas City Chiefs to wrap it up. And don't forget, keep tuning in because I know it's draft season. We'll be doing our summer school series, going through different genres of fantasy drafts and different ways to win. So make sure you keep tuned in after our summer tour. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in tonight. Good luck to your Raiders this year. And
Thank
we
you.
are out.